Sorry, let me mute this. So as you could probably tell, wait, that way, there's a bunch of boxes, big screen TVs missing from behind me. All my Commodore 64s and PS1s and stuff are gone from the walls. I'm moving, so I'm slowly packing all this stuff up. And it occurred to me before I find a box to put the F256K2 in and set it aside that I probably should show you like the latest status of what's been going on with the Golf Solitaire. So we could look at it real fast. Let's hopefully this script isn't. Nope, hold on. There we go. All right, so let's take a look. I'm just gonna actually no. Let's X-load it and then run it. So maybe I can just do this from here. So let's talk about drawing fonts onto the background when you only have one bitmap layer. All right, so basically what I had to do just to get this far was I had to create sprites for the numbers 0 through 9, and then I had to find a way to shove it up there in that upper left-hand corner, sprite by sprite for each one of the score. For instance, oh, by the way, we can navigate over here and say queen. Notice 6 won't work, 10. These are not selectable because they don't fall in line with the card that's down there on the bottom. To draw a new card, you could hit D or press the up arrow on the joystick. So we get 5. So let's see, we can go 4, 3. All right, and you see that number up top is now changing to the number of cards remaining. So that's how many cards you have left to your win. Over on the bottom right, I'm not super happy with it yet, but an A sprite, I had to embed this into the bitmap layer as well, right? Because we don't have layers. I can't do a UI layer on top of the background. So this is actually drawn onto the background that I'm showing, which is not ideal, but it's all we got right now. And then, it's saying you can move left and right to move. I actually have a joystick here, and I can show that this works. So we go left, right to move. To flip is the up thing, right? So we got that. We can select Jack, 10, Jack. There's no way in hell I'm winning this. I like to use the keyboard though, just because it helps me test. Ace, 7. Try not to get caught into playing the game here. 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so on and so forth. And you can win and you can lose. For instance, if I run out all my cards, I can get I can lose, and it'll say press fire space, right, and deal another one. I can also probably cheat here. Let's see. I think I could say cards left equals 0. Check for win. Yeah. So this is what would happen if you won the game. Of course, it just randomly throws the sprites all over the place. I'll come up with something, but this is just like my typical eye-catching thing. And you can press the space again. Oh, I guess you have to press fire. And then it'll reload everything and start dealing again. And that's basically the game, right? It has no sound yet and no music, which will be the hardest parts probably for me to put in here, especially in SuperBasic, because we don't have any really clever ways to play tunes and that kind of stuff. Like the Mega 65 has that 3-channel play command where you can just put notes in there and stack the channels and it'll interrupt play its own stuff. And we don't have that. So I'm going to have to find a way to convert some music into a bunch of data statements and then find a way to throw those into the timing loop. And that's basically how it'll work. But yeah, I mean, this is where we are. This game really just needs a splash now and maybe a brief set of instructions, and it's probably working. Even with the random algorithm I haven't successfully won a game yet, though, so I probably will play a little bit until I do. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And we can you'll notice when I turn sprites off, everything goes away. Oh, I probably shouldn't have. There we go. And we could see it's all sitting there. It's 100% SuperBasic. written functional style. As a matter of fact, I think, yeah, it's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines of initialization up top, and the rest is all done through the game loop. So like if we list game loop, we can just see that we basically just repeat inside there where we check for losing and winning, and then inside the timer we just update the inputs and we play the game that way. We're not redrawing the screen every single time. We only re-render it each time that a card is selected or something bizarre happens. It's very selective. Is it called render cards? Render board. Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's a very, very simple, basic game. And the reason I built this, the reason I started over again with golf, is because I think this is pretty easy for someone to dive into this source and understand. And the variables are, I attempted to name that they're actually very terse, as you can see, like the whole word sprite counter. It's probably not the most efficient way to name everything, but in the end result is it becomes readable, and somebody reading this code would be able to learn from it and at least be able to understand how to do simple things like and I'm using all 64 sprites because when I finally added the numbers 0 through 9, that took me to 0 through 63. So, and it's running great, right? I'm not having any memory issues. I'm not having any problems. What do we have for lines of code here? We went from 1,000 to 3,500. That's how small that game is. So there you go.